Mr. Hare, when you resist efforts to weaken or privatize Social Security, it says be specific.
Over my dead body. We will not raise the retirement age. We will not raise the retirement age. We will not allow seniors to have to put their Social Security in the stock market. How's that been working out recently, going up and down? And I'll tell you, the other thing we're not going to do is my opponent wants to do, we're not going to tax middle-income people to pay for it. Here's what we do. Social Security is protected until the year 2037. If we raise the cap on Social Security for those people that make over $106,800 a year, if we raise that by 25%, according to the actuaries of Social Security, we would protect Social Security for 90 additional years. There's much better ways to handle Social Security than cutting seniors' benefits, making them wait longer to retire, or taxing middle-income people so that they can pay for the Social Security plan. And with all due respect to Bobby, I disagree in his opening statement where he says these government programs don't work. I don't know how many people are here today that are on Social Security or Social Security Disability or Medicare, but thank God we have both of them. And I'm going to work very hard to make sure that we not only do that, but we strengthen them. And I think the richest people in this country ought to be responsible for ponying it up. I stopped paying Social Security at a certain point, and I don't think it's fair. I think I ought to pay on what I earn. I've said this, I've had press conferences across this district. I see people who, for them, this is their only source of income that they have. They've lost their pensions because of these banks, they've lost their 401ks, and they're hanging on by their thumbnails. And to privatize it, to raise the retirement age and to punish them because you have Wall Street fat cats trying to get rich off their backs, that's a disgrace in this country. We need to strengthen Social Security. And one last thing, we need to get a Social Security cost of living. We have tried 3 times. I'm a co-sponsor of a bill to give seniors a $250 one-time cost of living increase. The Senate has held it up, and I will tell you, we're going to go back and we're going to keep pushing until we can get this through. Thank you.
And I didn't say, for the record, I didn't say that they're not working. I'm just saying that they're broke, they're bankrupt. And you know, one of the problems we have, and Congressman here, he voted recently for HR 1586, which actually went in and raided $47 million out of Social Security. So what we have to do is we got to get the politicians, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, to stop raiding. And then another thing that would really, truly help Social Security to get it to continue running, and the numbers are all, the experts have everything all over the place. The numbers I see say that it's going to be out of money in 2017. But what we need to do is focus on private sector, long-term jobs that are going to get people back to work, and where we're paying into the system to where we have some longevity and before it runs out in 2017.
Regardless of who says what, I hope that the opponents are not intimidated by our wonderful audience's applause. And I emphasize wonderful. I just want the I want the state rep candidates to know I'm desperately looking for your questions. We have them, but there's a ton for Mr. Schilling and Mr. Hare, so I'm going to ask one more question, if I can find the one I wanted to ask. And this is for Mr. Schilling, and I checked with his campaign, and they said, go ahead and ask it. How can you help this district if you don't live in this district, Mr. Schilling?
You know, that's an interesting. The opponent continues to bring that up as an issue, and you know, when you look at living outside of the district by 0.9 mile, you know, what I'd like to go back to is under the watch in the 4 years that he's been sitting there, is our debt has grown by $5 trillion. This district, the unemployment rate has doubled, you know, and we want to continue to make a point out of living 9/10 of a mile out of the district. First and foremost, I was born and raised right here in Rock Island, Illinois. And you know, what happened was a bunch of career politicians decided that they were going to protect their seats. And if you look at it, it is so unconstitutional what they've done. The career politicians have taken our district and they've picked the voters rather than the voters picking the politician. Look, I have a business in Moline, Illinois. I pay property taxes here in the district. I meet payroll. I pay sales tax. I do everything. I even do something a little bit further than what the opponent does, is I create jobs right here in the district on my own watch.
I suppose it's only fair that the other side applaud. I have been asked to ask if you could refrain from that. This isn't a political rally, and we're going to run out of time today. I can only ask and encourage that. Mr. Hare, 1 minute.
Look, I believe if you want, it's often hard to ask people to vote for you when you can't vote for yourself. But the other thing, and I haven't made an issue out of it, this is the first time this question's been asked me today. I'm not concerned where Mr. Schilling lives, to be very candid with you. I'm concerned about his not knowing the 17th district. When he puts a letter in the paper whacking me over the Korean free trade deal, and he was quoted as saying there are no steel plants in the 17th district. Well, you might want to go to Sterling and check that out. 350 people there might disagree with you, Mr. Schilling. So it's not where you live, whether you live in or outside the district. It's what you want to do for the people that live in this district. And yeah, I think it'd be okay, and I would hope that Bobby would consider moving into the district if he does win in November. I think that would show a lot of class. But look, the point is, you need to know the district that you seek to represent, and you need to do the best to represent it.
Okay, we're going to move on to